Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Luke. Luke is from Wales, but he lives in Brighton, in England. So let's see what Luke has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, Luke. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank
All
you.
right, no problem at all.
We made it. We've been changed dates
Yes,
and
we have. Yeah. We found a time that works. It's just my whole week's kind of been all over the place. I think I had one day where like everything I had organized for the week just shifted around in one go. And like,
same
yeah,
here. And sometimes when I'm booking, because I talk to different people like all the
yes, of
time, and
course.
sometimes, for some reason I change the dates and I put the same date and it's always confusing. But anyway, we are here now.
Yes.
So tell me, how's your day going so far?
Oh, it's going all right. I've had a bit of a slow day. I've had a bit of a week off because sort of last week was sort of a big shoot on a film I was directing, and so this week sort of nice and quiet. So it's been nice today. I just had a little walk around town and stuff like that. So it's good.
So tell me, what has been the highlight of your week so far?
Oh, the highlight of my week. Um, oh, tell you what, I went to see The Interview. That was brilliant. I loved that. A new Olivia Wilde film with Seth Rogen, Edward Norton, and what's her name? I can't remember. It's fine, but
Right.
it was really great. It's one of those sort of like four people trapped in a room talking films, but like really, really good. I really enjoyed myself.
Where are you from, Luke?
I'm from Wrexham originally, up in North Wales.
Okay.
Yeah, Welsh boy. Yeah, then moved down to Brighton. I've lived here for 4 years now.
And why the change from Wales to Brighton?
Well, I think it was. I mean, initially it was just kind of to get a little more. It was like education, and then going into like the workspace. Just kind of soaking up the atmosphere. Brighton's got a very sort of, let's call it, a unique atmosphere that I quite like. It's nice to be by the sea as well. I like to surf. Not that I do much of that here, but it's still the appeal of being by the sea is there for me. But yeah, and it was just a very sort of inclusive, fun place. There's lots of music around.
Uh-huh.
I'm big on my music.
Wow.
I do a lot of that, yeah. So I enjoy it a lot, But sometimes you go back up to Wrexham for a little bit, and it's all just quiet. So it's kind of nice to have the mix of the two places, definitely, yeah.
And how far are you from the seaside?
From the seaside, well, from where I am right now, probably about 25 minutes, maybe. It's not that far,
Oh,
It's
close.
quite nice, yeah. Doesn't take long. By bus, 25 minutes. If I was walking, it might, I'm only short, so it might take me a little longer to get there than that.
Yeah, I think the buzz of Brighton is such a beautiful city. There's a buzz there that, you know what I mean? People love going to Brighton. There's the seaside, and it
Yeah,
makes the community bigger. And I get you for sure. So
definitely.
let's start the interview talking about your career as a film director. So tell me
Yeah.
how everything started.
Yeah. So I've always sort of been very interested in various arts sort of things. Just the whole entertainment industry is just always just felt like something that I was made for. Um, so my brother got into fashion photography because he's a little older.
Wow.
He's about, what was it, 6.5 years older than me or something like that. So you kind of just like seeing what he's doing, and I'm like, how do I feel about that? So he's doing his he did course in fashion photography, and like this amazing sort of book he made of all these pictures and stuff. And while he was doing that, then I was sort of making sort of little cheap looking music videos and all of this stuff as well. I've always kind of just been fascinated with storytelling and just
Wow.
that world really. It's not all about film for me. I just love everything creative. I do painting. I do a lot of sort of pencil drawing. Like for the film that we've just done, the sinking ship we've just shot. I drew all of the storyboards myself by hand with a ballpoint pen and stuff like that.
Wow.
Just getting my vision onto the page so I can show that to the other people working on it. Like, this is what I've got in my head. And so it's kind of interesting because I wrote that film as well. So it's like I can translate, with all this skill, it's just like this is exactly what I'm seeing, basically. So that's kind of how it's gone for me, where I've kind of flip-flopped around a bunch of different mediums, and then I've settled my way into learning how to direct and stuff like that. And I love it. I've not done anything quite as challenging or expansive as the one that we have just shot. But I like to kind of experiment in sort of comedy spaces, and then take those lessons and apply them to something serious. But yeah.
I think when you are involved in the entertainment business, words, there's so many ways for you to explore and to connect and to, for you to, as you said, you love to have your hands on. You love to, to paint and have all of that together. I think it makes a difference for sure.
Definitely. I think it really helps to have a good understanding of, what art is and how it's constructed. And I don't see a difference between making a painting and putting a shot together. It's all the same to me, but it's like, I know I want this detail here and I want these colors here and stuff like that. And you're just kind of piecing it together. And I wrote a research paper on, because I do a lot of, like, as I said, the music before as well. I do a lot of live music. I write a lot of songs and stuff.
Wow.
And for me, I wrote a research paper on how you can compare how to deconstruct sort of film narrative storytelling using music theory and structure and stuff like that. So how you would deconstruct a song, applying that into film narrative. So my mind is very much working in that sort of way of like, okay, where are the peaks and troughs going? Where do I want to kind of raise an emotion, and then where do I want to kind of leave some space for people to think about it? That's kind of how my brain works when I'm doing it.
Amazing. Look, so in the beginning of the interview, I always ask my guests on the show to bring something that means a lot to them. So that could be a picture, could be a gift, could be an object. Is anything you could share with us?
Yeah, I've got it just over here. So this is my very first guitar.
Wow.
So this is it's sort of I guess high budget, and it's an Ibanez GRG 170 DX in midnight black. So I got this when I was 15.
Wow.
It's when I started to learn to play guitar, because I saw my dad started getting into bass and that sort of thing. And it was this nice period of just kind of relearning what interests me and kind of allowing myself to be more creative and just, and learning a new skill as well. It's just nothing else I do works quite the same as what I do when I'm playing this.
Wow.
So it was that sort of period of self discovery, I suppose. And since then, I've kind of flourished, I suppose, is the word you'd use. Where I struggle quite a lot from anxiety and stuff like that, and it's led me to do all this live music. And then I've done I do like a regular charity gig for the Sussex Cancer Fund every year. Wow. And I play music for that. And, I wouldn't have those experiences if I didn't get gifted this. So it's just, it's a lovely thing for me, really, because it's just kind of a symbol of me growing out of my shell, really, and sort of, I guess, maturing.
And who gave it to you?
That was given to me by my dad. That was, we talk about a lot of music stuff together. We're very sort of, he builds speakers as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Amazing. So we're both big on the sort of the technical knowledge, and then he further focuses on the technical side, whereas I like to learn that to be able to apply it creatively. It's my sort of thing. So yeah, it's a nice little sort of reminder of like my relationship with my dad, and then just all of this, these experiences that I've had there. So I had it benched for a while, but I brought it back into my live set again. So I'm very happy.
Amazing, very good. Look, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through memories in life and share your point of views?
Yeah.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend, Flo, round of fun questions. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Right, before I start the interview, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about or you don't want to answer, always can take another one, okay?
Okay, sure thing.
Amazing. First question is, what's the best first date you ever been on?
Best first date? Well, that would probably be the only first date that I've ever been on. Where I'd organized to go see a little film in the cinema, just as like a little thing for me to do by myself. Every year I like to go see a film, go get a meal and stuff like that. And it just it turned into something nicer, and I get to share that experience with somebody else. So I think for me, it's all about shared experiences.
Definitely. Do you consider yourself to be a romantic person?
I consider myself to be an empathetic person. Always, I want to keep other people's interests in my head.
Tell me about your first kiss and your first crush.
Oh, I don't think I can say that.
No?
No. But I mean, first crush, maybe there was a little sort of a cartoon character when I was growing up, maybe something really embarrassing like that.
Amazing, very good.
They say don't kiss, don't tell.
Okay, what did you say, sorry?
You say don't kiss, don't tell, don't they?
Amazing, I love it. Next question, let's do it. Okay, look, next question for you is, if you could live in any time period, which one that you choose and why?
Ooh, that's a good one. Any time period I like. That's tricky. I think I would like to live. Honestly, it's not that far away, but I think I was built for the 90s, to be honest. Just the kind of that early / pre-internet, it's sort of like where I was growing up. It's just on the tail end of that. So I think I would like to live a bit more in that space. Wow. I use a lot of technology in my daily life, but I like the idea of living in an era where it's just breaking through, but not kind of everything that surrounds us, I think.
And when you think about your childhood memories, what's the best memory that comes to your mind?
Oof. I always just think like my brother practicing his pro wrestling on me, because he went and took that to the stage later on, but he's always practicing on me, so I've got lots of very interesting injuries from that. But it's always just a nice memory for me. And
you have just one brother, or you have other siblings as well?
It's just the one brother, yeah, just the one.
Tell me a person in your family or in your friends circles, in your friends, circle, that when you're feeling the lowest for some reason, or when you're feeling the greatest, this person comes to your mind for you to share both situations.
Yeah. I've got a good friend from high school, and that we've kind of stayed in touch over that time. We kind of share work. We both kind of do similar work. He runs sort of a pretty quite successful YouTube channel, so we kind of we discuss the comparisons of our working methods, because obviously me and film, the requirements for me to make film and to edit and stuff like that, I'm a big editor, is very different to what he needs for his. So sometimes I work for him as well. So, but if we've got something going on, we'll go and share that with each other. Yeah.
Okay, so he's watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send him a message. What would you say? He's watching.
I would say just kind of keep your head up. Appreciate the world around you. He's having a little bit of a hard time now, so I'd like him to just know that I'm there to support him. And just we're all in this together.
Nice one. I think you're totally right, Luke. I think people around us, friends, and I think it's a great connection, that you don't go around saying, oh, you're going to be my best friend, or we're going to be connected. It doesn't work like that. When it clicks, it's like a relationship, you know what I mean? It's like a genuine feeling.
Totally, yeah. I tend to only keep sort of relationships that I find genuine, like you say. You know, I'm sort of a slightly insular person where I only want to keep people around me that I really feel like, you know, I really enjoy their company. You know, so when I do get, you know, friends like that, it's just it's a lovely thing to me because I feel like I can trust you, I can confide in you. You know, and I think that's really important.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Right, before the next question, tell me how music came into your life.
Yes. I think probably the earliest memory I have of that is sort of my dad putting on AC/DC. I don't know if it was High Voltage or Highway to Hell or one of those, but you know, it just he put that on. You know, he's a big music man, but like you put that on, I'm just like that's a bit of me. You know, I'm
Wow.
very young at that point, but it's just like a connection there. You know, sort of a funny little story is I like to sleep with music on and stuff like that. It's just something I've always done. It just kind of
Okay.
calms me. I used to go to sleep when I don't know how old, was like a child, just with the sort of Highway to Hell blasting on the background. It's calming for me, you know. It's really fun.
That's amazing. It's interesting because some people they like to sleep, listen to music on the radio. There's some sound in the background. I think relax people.
Exactly. I think it's just, you know, I like the constant changes in the music and there's like the dynamics to it and like the energy. There's something about it where like, I don't know if it just makes me feel safe or whatever, but like I get comfort in it.
What's the biggest joy of being Luke? What do you like the most about being you?
Oh, of being me. I don't know. I think what I like is that I'm very interested in learning all the time. I think for me, I love understanding the way things work. You know, I mean, before I got into film as much, you know, I was big on physics or particle physics and all of that sort of thing, sort of radiation and things like that. You know, so it's a very technical. It's just I enjoy understanding sort of the foundations of things. So whenever I go into a space where like there's a lot to learn, I
Uh-huh.
immediately want to know, okay, well, what are the building blocks of this, so I can sort of frame it in my head better. You know.
Did you like school growing up?
No, but I did. I still enjoyed, as I say, the learning part of it. You know, I like sort of the understanding the way things work. So school, no, but learning, yes.
And who was your favorite teacher? Do you remember at the time? Did you have any?
Uh, um, yes, there was one teacher. She was a maths teacher. Um, and maths was not then, and it still not is my strong suit. I see the importance of it, obviously, but I'm not not the best at it. But I used to very much struggle with my exams, and you know, my brain kind of runs a little slowly sometimes. It's not that like you know I can still figure stuff out, but it takes me longer.
I
And so
see.
she was the first to kind of give me the time and space to understand the way that I need to learn and to kind of help put sort of building blocks in place for me to be able to support my learning. And then, you know, when it's sort of a bit of a tumultuous time, so then she's kind of really supporting me. So I just say thank you to her for that, really, because that probably more than any other teacher sort of gave me a bit more self confidence than I had before that point. So I really do appreciate her for that. Yeah,
It's so interesting how some teachers they leave a mark in our lives.
they
Somehow,
do.
yeah, we feel safe, or you feel protected, or you feel like there's a connection there as well. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's
definitely. I think it's like feeling seen. You know, like with anyone
yeah.
else. You know, you feel like that person's in the ring for you. You know, and it's a nice thing.
Next question. Let's do it.
I feel like the dance gets better every time. I love it.
Yes. Next question for you is
Yes.
question. If you're not yourself, would you like to be yourself?
If I okay, that's a tricky one. If I wasn't myself, would I like to be me? I think I could see the value in doing the things that I do. You know, like well, obviously I do the directing and I like that, and I do the live music, and I think those parts. You know, I get some people come up to me and be like, "You're so cool," and I don't feel like I agree, but I feel like if I was somebody else, then maybe I would think that. You know, where I'm like, "Yeah, I want to know more about him." But I think, the perspective would be different whether it's me now or if I was someone else.
And what's the meaning of life for you when you think about life?
The meaning of life for me, I think, is to learn as much as you can about
Mhm.
the things that you find interesting, to foster meaningful relationships, and to find your own place within it. If everything is so aimless, you've got to find your own course to go on. I talk about it a lot. Well, not a lot, but now and again, where like I'm not a particularly religious person. I was kind of brought up with it on the side, uh,
Mhm.
as kind of like an option of this is how some people live, but not the way that I was specifically brought up. But I like ideas of souls and stuff like that, and I that's something I very much subscribe to. Of the idea that
Wow.
everyone's got sort of a core being to themselves, and you can kind of you can nurture that, you can push it away, or you can it's about finding what is yourself for me.
Mhm.
And so a lot of my work that I do is about who is me, who is me,
Wow.
and sort of figuring that out. And so it helps. I go through difficult times, and then I'll write a song or a little bit of a script, and it's like finding out or sort of refining out who I am. There's a version of me I think I am, but there's a version of me that I don't know about, that I want to know about. And that's what I think it's all about.
And what will be the title of your memoir one day?
My memoir, um, short stuff. Why not?
Short stuff
Short stuff. Yeah, very
like that.
brief. A brief memoir, and a jab at me being very short.
And when people read your memoir, what's something about it that you like people to take with them?
I think I would like them to understand my appreciation for the world as it is and my want for it to be better. I
Mhm.
think is what I would want them to see. I think, I to a lot of people I come up maybe as a little grumpy or disgruntled. I think I would like them to understand better that although I'm not that optimistic, I enjoy being optimistic, and I'd like them to
Right.
see that I want to live a better life or to see a better life for other people, even if every conversation I have, I might seem as though I'm whining. I think that's what I'd like them to see.
What's your star sign astrology, Luke?
I'm not big on that, but I believe it's Aries. I think.
Aries. So you are in March, April?
Yeah. I'm in March, first day of spring. First day of spring.
Wow, amazing. Any questions left? Let's do it. Okay, before the next question, tell me three names in the movie industry that you feel very inspired by or you'd like to work with them one day. So tell me three
Mhm.
names.
Yeah, so the first one, I'm going to say Travis Knight because he was not. Oh no, that's another one. I'll get back to that though. I do like Travis Knight, but I mean Pete Travis. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up on my Travises. Pete Travis, yes. So British director, directed Omar, Vantage Point, way back when in Hollywood. But he mentored me for about a year,
Wow.
which was just incredible. I think that was sort of the first time I really felt like I was shaping, who I am as a director and like what's my style of filmmaking. And I attribute much of my skill as a director I have now to the teaching that he gave me.
Wow.
That so I appreciate for that. So I think it would be wrong to not bring his name up. He's just an incredible teacher. Just especially for me, just the way of working and the way that he understands how to communicate with actors. Just great, really, very, very
Wow.
good. Moving on to the other Travis, yeah, not Pete Travis, Travis Knight. So many Travises. Yeah, I just there's something about the style of filmmaking that's so focused on relationships and like what does it mean to have a soul and to be a person living with a soul. You know, and whether that is human or a creature or a robot or anything outside of that. It's what does it mean to, you know, have personality and to experience the world with that. And I think he just communicates that really well, you know, and I take a lot of inspiration for that when I'm thinking about, you know, how do I create these characters that have got, you know, these sort of deep thoughts and feelings, and how do I kind of put them into the world? You know, I think he just does that just so well, and so I'd like to kind of get to a stage where I can do that as expertly as he does.
I see.
Yes, and then you said three, so I've got to choose one more. I'm going to go for a little bit of a rogue one. I'm gonna say Steven Hillenburg. You know, so original creator of SpongeBob. I just love that show. I grew up with it as well. Just the humor, just the lessons as well, just all incredible. And the first SpongeBob movie is in my top 5. Amazing, but also, you know, he's kind of fostering this important need to show love to marine wildlife and understanding their world as well. So I just think there's so much to love about the work that he did, that I just, you know, just everything about his story is just incredible. So yeah, definitely Steven Hillenburg. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Next question is, tough question now.
Ooh, tough one.
If your plane was going down,
yes,
and you could call just one person to say goodbye, which person that would be and why?
That would probably have to be my partner, I think, unless we were on the same plane together, in which case I would look over to her and say goodbye then.
Don't take her on in this plane.
No,
don't take.
If I knew that the plane was going down, I would make sure you don't want to be on this one, not this one. I've got to go though, but no, you're not allowed.
Not you. You need to stay to carry on this story.
Just expect a call from me in a few hours. That's probably who I would go for. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. What's the biggest difference between both of you and the biggest similarity?
I think we're as similar in as many ways as we are different. To be honest, you know, we're both sort of very. I think that we're both very sort of deeply empathetic people, and in as much as we like to keep very private from people. But you know, I think that's where it works, and we kind of just fill in each other's gaps. You know, about you know, like my brain works one way, their brain works another, and it's kind of just, you know, finding out how, you know, we can work together. And I think, you know, it works, you know, and kind of we build each other's confidence up a nice way, and we support each other through things, you know. And then they were massively helpful in helping me make the film. You know, it's just there's a good sort of healthy working relationship there, and as much as sort of you know, any other kind of relationship there.
Nice one. I think when we do something with passion and we have the support of our partners, you know, by our sides, it's makes a difference for sure. You just feel safe. Yeah. You just can go for it.
I think you can take your knowledge and skill and your passion just so much further when you've got that sort of support network around you. Yeah.
Totally. 2 questions left.
Yes.
Let's do it. Do you like dancing?
Yes. No, actually. I like the idea of dancing. I love watching people dance. I'm very interested in sort of the study of like the movement and, you know, all that sort of stuff. And there's a physics element to it as well that I find really fascinating. But I hate people seeing me dance. I do not like it at all. I don't count myself as a very good dancer at all, actually. But
I think dancing is just there are no rules. You just close your eyes and move yourself, and that's how it works.
I think it's a very healthy thing. I think it's something really important. It's really human as well. Maybe it's something I'd like to see myself doing at some point, but I think that time is not now. Maybe in a few years.
And not even in front of the camera. It makes it even worse in front of the camera.
Exactly.
with a crazy boy like shaking a box.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, you just turn it away for a second while I do my thing, and then you can put it back on.
Next question is, what are 3 facts about yourself?
3 Um, 3 facts. Well, I think the first thing, I'm Welsh, so it's worth saying that I can speak a bit of Welsh. Um,
Amazing.
it's a big sort of thing for me. I'm not fluent, but I like to make it known at all times that I am Welsh.
Wow.
There's an important sort of culture to that as well, of just like making sure that we are seen, because I think oftentimes it's kind of conflated with the rest of Britain. So it's important to me to express my Welsh identity with people, and so they
Amazing.
understand this is my background. It's different from other people.
I love that.
It's important to me. Yeah.
I love that. And what's your favorite Welsh word?
My favorite Welsh word. There's some rude ones I can't say. But outside of that, I love piscod, which means fish.
Piscato. Piscato?
Piscod. So it's spelled Pysgod. Piscod. And that means fish. So you can say, to give you an example of a phrase, I always go on with this one. It's so you go to the chippy and be like, "Can I have some fish and chips, please?" So you'd say "Piscada sglodion a
Wow, interesting.
I just love it, and like I try to just fit in little things, like if I'm going back to Wrexham, you say like "diolch" to say thank you and stuff like that. So it's just keeping the language and the culture alive in a little way. Yeah.
Totally. 2 more fun facts about yourself.
2 more fun facts. You see, I've covered so much ground already. It's tricky to find things not said. Yeah, I did a series of lino prints
Wow.
a few years ago, all based around the evolution of Japanese samurai armor from the Edo period to the Meiji Restoration, which is about like the 1800s to the early 1900s, and just sort of researching all of that I just loved, and sketching on the lino, and then just with the gouge, getting it all out, and then just printing it all. And they just, they took ages, but I'm very, very happy with them. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then one more fun fact. Was it?
One more.
One more. Let's see. When I was, how old was I? Maybe 12, I don't know. I broke my coccyx. So
Wow.
yeah, but the reason, is I just find it so funny more than anything, because how many people do you know that you can say that like I've broken my bum, I've broken my bum. I just think it's hilarious.
It's come across very funny,
Exactly. I mean, it wasn't nice at the time. It hurt quite a lot, and it was difficult to walk. But I just there's a comedy to it that I just enjoy.
Oh, it's not painful anymore, yeah? All gone now.
No, it's all good. I mean, sometimes I can't sit in it, but that's neither here nor there.
I see. Last question, ready?
Yes.
Let's do it. Last question.
Yes.
Okay, but before the last question, through your career as a film director, tell me a moment. I'm sure you have some moments, situations that you hold close to your heart, for sure. But tell me one of them that when you think about it, you go like, you know what, this memory always gonna take close to my heart, if you can share.
Yeah, I did a little short monologue with an actor, and it was just kind of a really lovely thing for me. Like going back to what I was saying about like my Welsh heritage, I was trying to figure out, what do I write for this monologue. I've got someone in mind that I would like to sort of be a mouthpiece, but like, what do I get them to write about? So I took a few weeks to go back to Wrexham, just kind of reconnect and have a rest. And then you remembered this story about this tragic mining disaster in oh, I shouldn't be able. It's bad that I can't remember the name of it now. It's gone out of my head. But
In,
yeah, there's
in
this.
Thailand. Was in Thailand or not?
No,
No.
no, no. This is one in Wrexham back
Okay.
in the 70s. No, it might have been before that. But yeah, no, it was last century in Wrexham in
Okay.
I can't remember what it's called. Begins with a G. But yeah, no, I did all my research about that, and I remember sort of growing up, people discussing this. I mean, like Wrexham was a big sort of mining town. Lots of my family were as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, so I've written this sort of thing, and I did lots and lots of drafts, just trying to get the words right. So I wrote it from the perspective of because there was this thing where there was a football game on the around the day before, and lots of people had swapped shifts so they could go to the game. So I just kind of got fascinated with this idea of someone that had swapped a shift so they could go to this football game, and the person that swapped the shifts with them had gone to the mine and died because of that.
Oh.
And the idea just stuck in my head. So I wrote about I didn't want to use anyone's real stories, so I
Mm-hmm.
invented a person like I had imagined had gone through this with using all of this research,
Yep.
and then I handed it to the actor, and then we kind of went back and forth and just kind of creating this person that had been through just the most unimaginable sort of survivor's guilt I can think of, really.
Wow.
And just hearing the words I'd wrote about this issue that was kind of close to me, it was sort of lovely in just a horrible way, really. It was kind of haunting. You watch it back and there's the bit where you're thinking like, this is a great performance, but then the other bit where you understand what the words mean, and
Wow.
this is real. This happened. And I think in the end, like the actual event, that I think they only ever found two bodies or something. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
It's just this really somber moment, but it was, in a somber way, it was nice to be able to show that around to my peers and to have that work immortalized. Of like, this is a part of my culture, and there's lots of dark places in Welsh heritage that people don't talk about. With sort of lots of tragedies,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's nice to be able to, you know, to kind of get that across and to amplify those stories so that people can see them. So I think that was, for me, that's probably the most sort of internally satisfying thing I've done so much, because I like to feel like I can be someone to promote my heritage, and so to
Wow.
make a work that only serves to do that, I found it was just really special. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Okay, last question for you is,
Yes.
if you have the ability to teleport yourself anywhere right
Anyway,
now, where would you go and why?
let's see. If I could go anywhere in the world, where would I go? It's tricky when you've only got one. You've got one chance. Where would I go? I think I would like to go to a nice little farming village somewhere in rural Japan, with a sight of
Wow.
Mount Fuji, and to just sit there and relax for a little bit. I think that would be nice. Or maybe
Wow.
a little walk around there, just soak in the sights. I love the Japanese landscape. It's just incredible, and the trees, and I being sort of a spring person, I feel I've got quite a connection to cherry blossom and all of those sorts of trees, and that's such a big part of their culture. I think it's just I'd feel right at home there, as much as I do in Wales. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Okay, so then yet, let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to say some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's start with fear.
Fear. The first word that came to my head is famine.
Money.
Grubbing.
Life.
Savor.
Family.
Friends.
Love,
loss,
religion,
belief,
sex,
worth,
politics,
truth,
friendship,
forever,
desire,
loss,
regret,
happiness,
success,
acceptance,
wish,
want,
happiness.
time,
One word for Brighton.
loyal,
One word for Wales.
home.
That was very like smiley.
Yeah.
One word for music.
Soul.
And the last one now, film director, one word.
Self.
Wow. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your partner for a coffee and I'm going to ask your partner. Define look in one positive and one negative word only. What your partner would say about you.
She would say positive, determined, negative, stubborn.
Ooh. And if I would ask the same question to your dad, would be the same answer?
To my dad, I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Let's play now Look and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. I think you can dance. You're just being shy now. I think you can dance.
I don't know. It's not for me. I go a little bit like that. I'll just make a fool of myself.
Before asking the question, tell me what music has taught you so far.
Music has taught me to be more understanding of myself. It has taught me to learn to love the world around me, in as much as it annoys me. It has taught me to be more empathetic and understanding of people and their emotions.
Wow, beautiful. Okay, look, can you ask me a question now?
Yes. It's a very silly question. I was going to ask you what your favorite particle is. That's all I could think of. It would be in the physics mindset.
My favorite
particle, yeah.
Oh my God. Wow, let me think about it now.
I just say I've got one, so once you say yours, I can give you mine as well.
It's CO2 part of it as well, or not? CO2.
That'd be like a molecule.
I think I say CO2 because the only one who comes to my mind right now.
I just like graviton sort of exchange particles. They're all about sort of the your strong forces and weak forces and your non-contacts and stuff. Just
Wow, very good. Unique question for sure. You put me in the spot straight away.
No worries. I know it's a little bit out there.
I love it. I love those random questions. I think it's very interesting. You know what I mean? You can get interesting answers. You know what I mean?
Yes, I imagine you get asked a lot of different questions.
I love it. Did you enjoy the interview?
Yes, it was great. Thank you so much.
Thanks again, Luke. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for being so kind. I love to, you know what I mean, passionate people here on the show. When you talk about movies, about music, about your love, about, you know, your career. I think it's amazing. I think it's great for us to explore our gift, our passion. And I think it's just the way to go. Be ourselves, you know, follow what makes you, what brings the best of you. And talking to you, I can see how much you enjoy, you know, your career. This is amazing.
I always say that the most important thing for everyone is people want to see passionate people being passionate about something they love.
100%.
I think that's the most important thing you can be, just in any situation, but especially in your work and your life. You know, just you've got to show that passion. You know.
I was about to ask you to share a positive quote, and you just did right now.
Well, I'm happy to get ahead of the curve for you.
If you have another one, if you'd like to share another quote or another positive message, feel free.
Yeah, I've got it prepared with me here. It's one I quite like. What is it? Okay. We've got it. Yeah, so it's an old Theodore Roosevelt. It's from his Citizen of a Republic speech. You might have heard it. So the quote is "The man in the arena," and I heard it, and I'm just this encapsulates everything about how I feel about work. life, and just this sort of the Sisyphus rolling the rock up the hill, you know. So the quote is, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat."
Wow, beautiful, beautiful. Wow, thanks for sharing, Luke.
So much.
Thanks again, regards to your partner, to your friends and family, and keep in touch. It was a pleasure to have you on the show, okay?
It's been lovely talking with you. Thank you.
Take care. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.